Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Roseville Wrecking Ball. The Roseville Wrecking Ball.
Joshua Shrum. He is a very talented steward, very knowledgeable.
The Roseville Wrecking Ball. This is one of those podcasts where I listen to every episode. I love what he's putting out there.
The Roseville Wrecking Ball. Josh Shrum.
Parcels of Knowledge. Does a fantastic job with that podcast.
The Roseville Wrecking Ball. He is an Article 8 scholar, and thank God. We need Article 8 scholars right now.
Tune into the Parcels of Knowledge podcast while you're on the route. That's the mailman's playbook, brother.
Good morning, and welcome back to Parcels of Knowledge, that podcast dedicated to delivering knowledge to the city letter carrier with your host, the Roseville Wrecking Ball. Today, on grievance number 157, we meet again in the beautiful city of Roseville, Michigan, where I'm going to have an episode where I give one piece of advice regarding route count and inspections. First, I must say that it's good to be back. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm just joking. It was yesterday. But, man, this one's going to be short because I got probably about 70 cases that need to be developed right now. Some of them being very, very huge cases, like start time change, removals, things of that nature. So I got a lot on my hands. Obviously, we got the route count inspection grievances, but I must first talk about the fact that we need questions for Rob Kosier. I mean it, guys. Send me some questions. I need you to send that to rosevillewreckingball@yahoo.com. That's right. Send your questions in to rosevillewreckingball@yahoo.com. And other than that, I just got to mention something. You may not know this, but technically, this is our 100th episode.
Yeah, boy!
It's been good. It's been nice being able to educate you guys, and I'm humbled by the fact that you guys are sticking around to listen. I think this is great. Let me know what you think of the show so far. I think it's developed into something that's really great, and I owe it to the people that are around me, and you guys, of course, are the most important part, but also those podcasters who helped, endorse me when I was new, and it's been a wild ride, and I'm not doing anything too special for this 100th episode. I'm just going to do a quick one on, a topic that I actually know about. Typically, I don't talk much about topics that I'm not confident about because, I don't want to give away the wrong information. But I just recently went through a route count and inspection, and I do want to make known a little piece of advice that I thought was useful. This actually came from Clarence Blaze, and I think that a lot of people repeat this advice. I don't think it's unique to Clarence, but I do think that he made this little, I don't know if he did it himself or his branch, but he made this guide where they would, 1838s in the morning, it basically counts your office time. Line 21 in particular counts toward your route. And line 21 happens to be reoccurring office activities not covered by other line items. You are required to perform many reoccurring duties that are not listed as one of the other line items. In those instances, the duties are timed and recorded as line 21 entries. Each line 21 entry is marked sequentially. For example, 21A, 21B, 21C, etc. And then briefly, you got to explain in the comments exactly what it is. And it's included in computing office time. These are just reoccurring office duties. And there are so many reoccurring office duties. Sometimes they could be specific to your branch or installation. Sometimes, it's just a practice that has been allowed for a long time. I think The morning time is where they get to try and disqualify as much as they can. Technically, they do that when they're out with you on the route too. And I think the strategy is that really worked for me. I have this guide that Clarence Blaze made or someone from his branch. And it's a guide as to what qualifies for credit under line 21. It's several items. And essentially, you pair this up with your 1838. If you haven't gone through one yet, you have to fill out the 1838 each and every morning to account for your office time. And for example, certain line items don't count toward it, like 23. 23 is used to count the mail. And so under line 21, I found it very useful to have this list with me and to check back and forth. I highlighted the ones I do very often, and I would check back and forth between the form and the 1838, and I would just write as many as I can. And I think that's a really good strategy. For example, one of the things my branch told me would not potentially qualify, specifically they told me it wouldn't, is picking up the scanner and setting it up. And the reasoning they told me was, well, you do that off the clock. I disagreed because of the fact that, you might be off the clock at 8, which is the time we start, but it's still 8 o'clock once you set it up. It's still the same minute. Each one of these line items, by the way, count as 1 minute minimum. So adding as many as you can, even though they're less than a minute, could make your office time look better. So I'm going to go through the list of all these items. And honestly, that's pretty much it. I'm going to post this list over on the Parcel of Knowledge Facebook. Maybe we can get that on the website too. I'll have to call Philip today because I didn't even tell him about yesterday. I'm sure he heard it and probably did it himself anyway. He's pretty good at it like that. But so he calls this the Guide to AM Duties that Qualify for Credit under Line 21. Technically, one of these is Line 19. I don't care, though. I think it's just essentially a guide. Pick up scanner. Set up scanner. You can get 1 minute for each one of those. Perform vehicle check. That's line 19. That's the one I was talking about. Write up vehicle if anything needs repair. Speak to VOMA if there's an issue with your vehicle, if needed. Turn on the case light. Every time I turned on the case light, they actually gave me credit for 1 minute for that. Verify vacation hold mail. Check and update your route book and sign cover sheet for changes and request new labels if necessary. Should be done weekly. Handle premium forwarding. Ask for a printout of your recent moves by last name or address. Look at bid board / fill out bid sheet. Look at annual leave board / fill out leave slip. Safety talk. This could be any type of service talk. Remove flats from tub and place empty tubs in proper location. Remove letters from tray and neatly place empty trays in proper location. Remove tags from tray. Casing S99 mail. Take mail to throwback case in the AM. Update PS Form 3982. Update orange cards. Case orange cards. I imagine these cards we use hazard cards instead. I think those cards are just basically notification cards for particular situations. Take CFS, UBBM, missed rows, and all other markups to the proper location. Check and verify DPS mail. Print firm sheet. Request PS Form 3996 from management. Fill out and submit PS Form 3996. Request PS Form 1571 from management. Fill out and submit PS Form 1571. Official communication with management. I did that one many times. Sign no lunch sheet. This is very particular to certain stations. Official communication with clerk, swing carrier, or any other employee. Fill out work orders for NDCBUs. Going to and pulling the hot case. Put hot case paddle in hot case and scan hot case. Replenishing forms. Picking up small posts and go through hamper to get out all small post. Remove small post from tub and empty tub in proper location. Call the spill team to take care of a leaking package if applicable. Write up faulty equipment. Handling damaged mail. Checking your case for sleepers after pulling down. Clean your case. Straps, rubber bands, and paper. Turn off the case light. Move to field time on scanner. They didn't count the move to field time. I'm going to be trying to fight that. But the point of this is you put as many as you can so that as many as possible would stick. I think that's a good strategy. I think every one of my office days was over an hour based on that strategy. And you know how they want this to be under an hour, so that's good. Even after they took out as much as they could, it was over an hour still, so that's great. All right, so there's also PM office duties that qualify under line 21, and they're not as numerous, but move to office time on scanner. Scan the MSP back from the field and enter mileage. Turn on case light. Fill out PS Form 1571 for all mail that was undelivered that day. Return empty DPS trays and tubs to the proper location. Remove tags. Clear hard trays of rubber bands and mail and place in proper location. Place DPS errors in the proper separation at the DPS, missent, missort, misthrow case, the 3M case. Put fill out gas receipt in proper location. Up to 5 minutes for wash-up time. And return scanner to the scanner cradle. All right, so, all these duties get a minimum of 1 minute credit. If time is spent on a particular duty is over a minute, they recommend that you round up to the higher minute. It's just a guide. You may perform duties that are not listed. I would say that you list those duties as well, as long as they're reoccurring. Line 22 would be non-reoccurring office time. And of course, this is an uphill battle. They're going to try and disqualify everything they could. Another line item 21 that should be talked about is steward time. That's a whole nother ball game, but it's guaranteed. It's still contractual. Steward time is a line 21 item, should be counted toward your route. We've already talked about that though, so I won't really go too much into it. But that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. Come give me some questions for Rob Kosier, city delivery, director of city delivery candidate. I need those questions. I'll be texting you regulars because I haven't gotten any yet. Please send me some questions. I don't even care if you got to text them to me. But hopefully you learned something valuable today. And as always, have a good day.
If these guys are getting educated, we will be in big trouble.
Management's been weighing you down like a bag of wet catalogs, but you don't gotta take it. You strap on the elbow of education, dig it?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Roseville Wrecking Ball. The Roseville Wrecking Ball.
The Roseville Wrecking Ball is an Article 8 scholar, and thank God, we need Article 8 scholars right now. The Grievous Genius and the Roseville Wrecking Ball doing amazing work.
Tune into the Parcels of Knowledge podcast while you're on the route. That's the mailman's playbook, brother.